Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going deep on the Olympics.
The Olympics, huh?
Yeah, you know those games with all the countries and the medals?
I think I've heard of them.
Well, get ready to learn because these games are more than just what you see on TV.
More than just sports.
Way more. We've got some research here on the history, the different sports, even some of the scandals and controversies.
Oh, wow. So like a real behind-the-scenes look.
Exactly. We're going to unpack it all.
Sounds fascinating. Where do we even begin with something this big?
Well, we got to start at the beginning, right?
Right back to ancient Greece.
Exactly. Did you know the original Olympics were actually a religious festival?
Really?
Yeah, it was all to honor Zeus, the king of the gods.
Wow. So not just about athletic competition.
Not at all. It was like a giant party with sports as part of the celebration.
I'm picturing togas and chariot races.
And they even had their own unit of measurement called the stadion.
The stadion. What's that?
Get this, it was based on the lengths of Heracles' foot,
Heracles, the demigod.
the one and only famous for his strength.
So I imagine his foot was pretty big.
You know those ancient Greeks took their mythology seriously?
Yeah, they wove it into everything.
It really shows you how intertwined sports, religion, and mythology were back then.
It makes you wonder what they'd think of the modern Olympics.
I know, right? From zoos to sponsorships, it's been quite a journey.
So how did we get from those ancient festivals to the modern games?
Well, that's where this guy Baron-Pierre de Coubertin comes in.
Never heard of him.
He was a French visionary, big believer in the power of sports.
Power of sports. In what way?
He thought sports could bring people together, promote peace, all that good stuff.
So like a unifying force.
Exactly. And he's the reason the Olympics were revived in 1896.
1896. Wow. It's a long time ago.
And get this, the first modern Olympics were held in Athens.
Athens. Like back where it all began.
Full circle moment for sure.
So from a few countries back then to over 200 now.
And don't forget the Winter Olympics, the Paralympics, the Youth Olympics. It's grown into this huge global movement.
It's amazing how it's evolved and adapted over time.
Totally. The Olympics are definitely a reflection of our world, how it's changed and continues to change.
Speaking of change, the Olympics are a massive business now, too.
Oh, yeah. Billions of viewers worldwide, huge broadcasting deals, sponsorships, merchandise, you name it.
It's a whole different world from those early amateur games.
But it's also kind of mind-blowing how big it's become, right?
It's a balancing act, for sure, trying to keep those core values of the Olympics while navigating this globalized, commercialized world.
Definitely. And it's not all sunshine and gold medals either.
Right. There have been some dark moments, too.
Sadly. Yeah. World wars, terrorism, political boycotts. All that has impacted the games over the years.
It's a reminder that the Olympics aren't immune to the real-world problems.
Like the 1972 Munich massacre. That was a horrific tragedy.
A terrible reminder of how violence can disrupt even something as hopeful as the Olympics.
Even with all the challenges, the games have persisted.
They represent something bigger than any one event or conflict.
That shared human experience, right?
Yeah. Exactly. The drive to compete, the pursuit of excellence, the camaraderie. It transcends borders and ideologies.
And it's inspiring to see athletes from all over the world come together like that.
It's a reminder that we have more in common than what divides us.
Now, before we get into some of the specific controversies, I want to talk about something that's been a constant throughout Olympic history.
What's that?
The role of women.
Oh, yeah. A story full of both progress and setbacks.
It's crazy to think women were completely excluded at first.
Can you believe it? Not until 1900 were a handful of women even allowed to compete.
And even then, it was only in a few specific sports.
And imagine the societal pressures they faced back then.
It's a testament to their determination that they pushed through and paved the way for future generations.
Those early female athletes were pioneers, truly breaking barriers.
Absolutely. They challenged the status quo and showed the world what women were capable of.
Their impact is undeniable. Now we see women competing in almost every sport.
It's come a long way.
Yeah.
But it's also a reminder that the fight for equality is ongoing.
Both in and outside of sports.
And it's not just about numbers, either. It's about creating a level playing field.
Equal opportunities, resources recognition, the whole package.
Right. The Olympics have been a platform for those conversations about gender equality.
And hopefully they'll continue to push boundaries in the future.
Now let's switch gears and talk about the business side of things.
The money behind the medals.
Exactly. The Olympics are a massive global enterprise now.
Billions of dollars flowing through broadcasting rights, sponsorships, merchandise.
And hosting the games. That's a huge financial undertaking.
Cities spend billions on infrastructure, security, logistics.
So it's not just about those 2 weeks of competition. It's a long-term investment.
Right. There are potential benefits, but also risks to consider.
Okay, so break it down for us. What are the upsides?
Well, the games can boost tourism, create jobs, and stimulate investment in infrastructure that benefits the city long after the Olympics are over.
So it's about leaving a legacy.
Exactly. But there are downsides, too.
Like,
Sometimes cities go into debt or face criticism for building expensive venues that aren't used much after the games. There's also the potential for displacement of residents and environmental concerns.
so it's a balancing act.
It really is. It requires careful planning, transparency, and responsible spending to make sure the Olympics have a positive and lasting impact.
It's fascinating how something that started as a religious festival in ancient Greece has become this global spectacle with all these complex economic and social implications.
It speaks to the enduring power of the Olympics and their ability to adapt and evolve.
Speaking of adapting, let's talk about doping.
The dark side of chasing victory.
It's been a problem for almost as long as the modern Olympics have existed.
A constant cat-and-mouse game between athletes looking for an edge and the authorities trying to maintain a level playing field.
We've seen some high-profile scandals over the years.
Ben Johnson's disqualification in 1988, the Russian state-sponsored doping program. It tarnishes reputations and casts a shadow over the entire competition.
It raises a lot of questions about the pressures athletes face, the win-at-all-costs mentality, and the role of coaches and support staff.
It's a complex issue with no easy answers. But fighting doping is crucial to protecting the integrity of the games.
It's about sportsmanship, fair play, achieving excellence through hard work and dedication, not shortcuts.
Exactly. The Olympics should celebrate human potential, not chemical enhancement.
So what's being done to combat doping?
Anti-doping agencies are constantly developing new testing methods and intelligence-gathering techniques.
And there are educational programs to raise awareness about the risks and consequences.
It's a collaborative effort from athletes to governing bodies to ensure fairness and uphold the values of sport.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about something more inspiring.
Like what?
The incredible moments that have captivated audiences and made the Olympics so memorable.
Those moments that give you goosebumps and make you believe anything is possible.
The Olympics are full of them.
They transcend sports and remind us of the human capacity for greatness, resilience, and triumph over adversity.
For me, Usain Bolt's performance in the 100 meters at the 2008 Beijing Olympics was unforgettable.
Oh, yeah. The speed, the charisma, the joy. He redefined what was possible in sprinting.
And he had this amazing ability to connect with the crowd. Everyone felt like they were part of something special.
He truly embodied the Olympic spirit.
And then there's Michael Phelps winning 8 gold medals in swimming at those same Beijing Games.
A performance for the ages. He pushed the limits of human endurance.
And it wasn't just the number of medals. It was the way he dominated his events, the precision, the power.
He was like a machine built for swimming.
And we can't forget about Nadia Comaneci's perfect 10 in gymnastics at the 1976 Montreal Olympics.
The first perfect score ever awarded in Olympic gymnastics. It changed the sport forever.
Her poise, her precision, her grace. It was like watching poetry in motion.
And she was only 14 years old at the time.
These are just a few examples of the countless moments that have made the Olympics so captivating.
Moments that remind us of the power of sports to inspire, unite, and showcase the boundless potential of the human spirit.
They're the moments that keep us coming back for more year after year.
The Olympics are more than just a sporting event. They're a celebration of human achievement, a testament to our resilience, and a source of inspiration.
It's been an incredible journey so far, exploring the past and present of the Olympics.
And there's still so much more to uncover.
We'll be back soon to continue our deep dive. Stay tuned.
Yeah, and these stories, they really highlight how far we've come in terms of women's participation in sports.
But there's still work to be done, right?
Absolutely. It's an ongoing effort to level the playing field, make sure women have the same opportunities, resources, and recognition as their male counterparts.
The Olympics have definitely been a catalyst for those conversations about gender equality, haven't they?
For sure. The fight for inclusion in the games often mirrors the broader fight for equality in society.
Okay, so we've talked about the history, the athletes. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
The behind-the-scenes stuff.
Exactly, the business side of the Olympics.
Ah, yes. The money, the sponsorships, the broadcasting deals, it's a whole industry.
It's become a massive global enterprise, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Billions of dollars are at stake.
I mean, just think about the cost of hosting the games.
It's astronomical. Cities spend billions on infrastructure, security, logistics, you name it.
So it's a huge investment for the host city and country.
Right. And it's not just about those 2 weeks of competition. It's about the long-term impact the legacy the games leave behind.
So what are the potential benefits of hosting the Olympics?
Well, for starters, it can be a huge boost for tourism, create jobs, stimulate investment in infrastructure projects that benefit the city long after the Olympics are over.
So like new transportation systems, stadiums, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Things that improve the quality of life for residents.
But there are also risks, right?
Of course. There's always the possibility of cost overruns,
Yeah.
projects going over budget.
And what about the environmental impact? All that construction, the influx of people.
That's a valid concern, too. Sustainability is a big issue for the Olympics. Moving forward, host cities need to prioritize eco-friendly practices, minimize their carbon footprint, and think about the long-term environmental consequences.
A lot to juggle.
It is. It requires careful planning and a commitment to sustainability from everyone involved.
So hosting the Olympics, it's a high-stakes game with both potential rewards and risks.
Definitely. It's a decision that shouldn't be taken lightly.
Now let's talk about something that's been a persistent issue in the Olympics.
What's that?
Doping.
Ugh, yeah. The use of performance-enhancing drugs to gain an unfair advantage.
It's been a problem for decades.
It feels like a constant battle trying to catch athletes who are cheating and stay ahead of the latest doping techniques.
We've seen some major scandals over the years. Ben Johnson's disqualification in 1988, the Russian state-sponsored doping program. It really undermines the integrity of the games.
Absolutely. It casts a shadow of doubt over everything. When you see an athlete achieve something incredible, you wonder, is it real? Or is it the result of doping?
And it puts a lot of pressure on clean athletes who are doing things the right way.
They're the ones who truly deserve our admiration. The ones who dedicate their lives to training and competing fairly.
So what can be done to combat doping?
Well, anti-doping agencies are constantly working to develop more sophisticated testing methods. They're also gathering intelligence, trying to uncover doping rings and expose those involved.
It's an arms race.
In a way it is, but it's a race we have to win. To protect the integrity of the Olympics and ensure a level playing field for all athletes.
So the fight against doping, it's an ongoing challenge.
It requires vigilance, innovation, and a commitment from everyone involved to uphold the true spirit of the Games.
Let's shift gears now and talk about something a little more uplifting.
Okay, I'm ready for some good news.
Let's talk about those inspiring moments that have made the Olympics so memorable.
The moments that give you goosebumps.
The moments that make you believe in the power of the human spirit.
The Olympics are full of them.
For me, Usain Bolt's performance in the 100 meters at the 2008 Beijing Olympics was just electric.
Oh yeah, he was incredible. The speed, the charisma, he made it look so effortless.
He didn't just win, he shattered world records. He redefined what was possible in sprinting.
And he did it with a smile on his face.
He had this amazing ability to connect with the crowd, make everyone feel like they were part of something special.
He was a true showman, a global icon.
And how about Michael Phelps winning 8 gold medals in swimming at those same Beijing Games?
8 gold medals! It's mind-boggling.
He dominated his events. He pushed the limits of human endurance.
He was like a machine built for swimming.
And we can't forget about Nadia Comaneshi's perfect 10 in gymnastics at the 1976 Montreal Olympics.
A perfect score. It had never been done before in Olympic gymnastics.
Her poise, her precision, her grace, it was breathtaking.
She was only 14 years old at the time.
These are just a few examples of the countless moments that have captivated audiences and made the Olympics so special.
They're the moments that inspire us, that stay with us long after the Games are over.
And they remind us of the power of sports to unite us, to transcend borders and cultures.
The Olympics are more than just a sporting event. They're a celebration of human achievement, a testament to our resilience, and a source of hope for a better future.
Well said. It's been an incredible journey so far, exploring the many facets of the Olympics.
And we're not done yet. There's still more to uncover.
We'll be back soon to continue our deep dive. Stay tuned.
Yeah, those moments stick with you, don't they?
Totally. They become part of Olympic history.
And inspire future generations.
It makes you wonder what amazing moments are still to come.
Right. What does the future hold for the Olympics?
What do you think? How will the games change in the years ahead?
Well, technology is definitely going to play a big role.
Yeah, I can see that. We're already seeing advancements in sports equipment and training techniques.
Exactly. And virtual reality could change how athletes train and how fans experience the games.
Imagine watching a game from the athlete's point of view. That would be wild.
And who knows, maybe we'll even see esports become part of the Olympics.
Wow, that would be a huge shift, bringing in a whole new generation of athletes and fans.
Definitely. And let's not forget about the environmental impact.
Right, sustainability is becoming more and more important.
Absolutely. Future host cities will need to focus on eco-friendly practices, using renewable energy sources, sustainable building materials, and efficient transportation systems.
It's not just about minimizing the impact of the games, but also about setting an example.
Exactly, showing the world that it's possible to host a major event in a way that's good for the planet.
So it sounds like the Olympics are evolving on multiple fronts.
Absolutely. From the sports themselves to the technology used to the social and environmental impact, it's all changing.
Speaking of change, let's talk about the upcoming host cities.
Each one brings something unique to the table.
Paris in 2024.
Can you imagine the opening ceremony with the Eiffel Tower in the background?
It's going to be spectacular.
Mm.
Then LA in 2028.
They'll definitely bring that Hollywood flair to the games.
And Brisbane in 2032.
A chance to experience the Olympics down under.
It's exciting to think about all the different cultures and perspectives that each host city will bring.
It's like passing the torch from one generation to the next, each one adding its own chapter to the Olympic story.
And that story is one of resilience, unity, and the pursuit of excellence. It's a story that continues to inspire us all.
It's a reminder that even in a world that's often divided, we can come together in the spirit of sportsmanship and celebrate the best of humanity.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Olympics, what are some key takeaways for our listeners?
Well, I think it's clear that the Olympics are more than just a sporting event. They're a reflection of our world, our values, our dreams, and our struggles.
They're a reminder that we're all connected and that we have the power to achieve great things when we work together.
And they inspire us to strive for excellence, not just in sports, but in all aspects of our lives.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this journey, listener. We've covered a lot of ground from the ancient origins of the Games to the future of the Olympics.
It's been a fascinating exploration.
And remember the Olympic motto, Citius Altius Fortius, faster, higher, stronger.
May we all strive to live by those words, both on and off the field of play.
Until next time, keep the Olympic spirit alive.